Good morning and hi from Vietnam. Wow, women of worth. Good morning, Yvette. How are you doing?
Good morning, I'm fine. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Where are you sitting now? Which city in the world?
I'm in London and I'm actually in my living room.
Cool. Yeah, I'm very excited to share your story and what you do because I think it's a fantastic way to educate children. And it's really interesting also the way you do it because it's very relevant for our topic. I am Wow, which is our Wow Festival. Sorry, I am Human for our Wow Festival this year. So, for who doesn't know me, I am Marianna Penna. I'm founder CEO of Wow Women of Worth, and yeah, this is the symbol of our Wow Festival this year. As I said, I am human, so not forgetting that first of all we have a heart that has to have a heartbeat making us alive, and carry out our business in a passionate way and be authentic with ourselves. That is what it matters to us. So for who doesn't know us? We've been very busy last week around the International Women's Day event, and we are carrying out for the rest of this week other interviews before we close our Wow Festival on the 16th of March with a closing party now in Naples. So why so? Because we want to celebrate women in business all the year round. Actually, we do that, and during the International Women's Day, we also want to, sorry, I'm talking too much. The idea is also to focus and give the space throughout the period to other women. So that's why even the International Women's Day is gone, we still portraying these women beyond that day because we need to celebrate women in business every day in the sense that we work hard to make, of course, living, first of all, living a passion, and secondly, inspire other women. So that's why we are here. So I will leave with Yvette an introduction of herself, and let us understand what is your day-to-day work and what is your ultimate business with your business.
Well,
Ultimate
hello.
with your business, sorry.
Well, hello, my name's Yvette. I'm the founder of a company called More Curricular. I'm actually a teacher by trade, and More Curricular actually developed about me trying to support my son in his education. So, being a teacher, there's lots of scrutiny you give the school your child's at, and I just wasn't happy with his sort of standard of education. So, I would do some research and look around and see how I could actually support him, and then it evolved into More Curricular. Um, so More Curricular delivers training sessions for parents and children to help them achieve their academic goals. And then it sort of evolved into more about how learning can take place outside the classroom and empowering parents and children. So I have two AI assessment apps and they focus on handwriting. Now, handwriting is really important because handwriting is the foundation for learning, and there's evidence that shows that the more that you write, the better the quality of what you write. So whether you are writing a story at school or doing an exam or studying to do medicine, there are going to be some elements where you have to write and you have to convey your thoughts. So writing is the foundation. So on top of that, I've got another aspect of my business, again based with learning outside, and we do these wonderful walking tours with schools where children learn about hidden history, so they challenge their perspective. Sorry, I can't get that out of my mouth. Of the history narratives they've been told. So it's transformative learning, and transformative learning really helps that person change in their viewpoint. And it's a really strong teaching concept, which is often overlooked in schools because the pressure to learn the maths, English, pass exams. So I do really love doing it, and it also works with parents as well. So you just see this sort of light bulb moment when they begin to think about actually this is not what I thought, and this is not the correct narrative, and there's this sort of struggle when they're trying to actually work out what's right and what's wrong. But you do get a change in that person. So transformative learning is really a really important teaching method if you want a change in how that person actually thinks and behaves.
Wow, this is something. Especially with More Curricular, because I want to talk back about your working tours. But what is intriguing me is the fact that with More Curricula, what is very, very interesting is the fact that you are providing an AI tool, which is more accurate in the sense. But how do you able to deliver that assessment in order not to lose the human aspect for the child in order to grow as individual?
Okay, so our assessment is not just 100% AI. So it is a tool that you complete a task, and we then use AI, use our own data sources. So our data sources are actually generated from our own customers. So we tend to have a more, I would say, precise data about handwriting challenges because it's based on real people. And then once you get the result, there will be a personalized action plan to learn how to support that child. So whether you're the parent or an educator. So the human touches is using technology to support parents or educators in that learning journey with their child. So there is often, you go online, you get some results, but our results are personalized and you're encouraged to use it as a tool to support them. So it doesn't replace standard teaching. What it does, it enhances it. So for me, technology shouldn't replace that parent helping their child with their handwriting and giving feedback, but it's a guide. And quite often with teachers, there are so many children in the class that sometimes you do need a quick assessment that you can do so you can actually identify the children who need that support, because quite often you can't identify it because you've got too many children. So my tool is really about helping the educator, the parent and the child by identifying, using technology to identify any challenges and then providing a detailed personalised action plan that will support that child in their learning journey.
Wow, this is fantastic because I really believe that it's important for educator having a wide perspectives about the child. And I guess the AI, how it works also about, you talk about behavior, but also in areas where they are expertise, no expertise, your skills fall in, how it works. So how is created this assessment in order to have a sort of categories that, of skills or behavior?
What happens is the child will complete a task, and they are for writing tasks. The tasks are then they would take a photograph and they would upload it to our AI system. The AI system will then look at the tasks that have been uploaded, and they will compare it with the data sources that we have already in our data set, and they will look for any challenges or patterns that may signpost, possible writing challenges. So if a child is dyslexic, there are certain challenges they'll have when they complete the task. So it's not 100% accurate, but we are trying to get to 99% of what an occupational therapist would actually be able to identify. So the idea is it's not a diagnosis, it's a way of signposting what issues or challenges, I shouldn't say issues, that child may have, and then how you can support them. So what it is, it's an early way of identifying any writing challenges and supporting. And they also, once you've got the action plan, there is an opportunity to speak to someone if you're not sure how it works. But the key to this is it's an instant assessment. So quite often you want that information now, and it's based on real data of children of the same age group who've done the same task, and we can identify patterns if there are challenges with a particular writing challenge or writing problem.
So basically, you have an outcome from the assessment, seeing what is the soft skills as well as the hard skills that they can work,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. And there is also, in addition to the task, there's a questionnaire that the parent or the educator would complete, so we can get some more information about that child. So
And
you can add content.
what is the approach of the children? Do they fancy that? They enjoy it?
Um, the thing about the assessment is it doesn't have to be done in one go. So especially because I've got an earlier one for toddlers, which is really, really useful because before children start writing, there's pre-writing skills that take place, and they're not taught. It's things they pick up by themselves. So it's something they pick up implicitly. So I always encourage, it's not a test, it's like an assessment. It doesn't need to be done in one go. All we really need is the outcomes. But when you complete the questionnaire, you might say it took X amount of days or the child. So we've got an idea about, the child. And so it's not a test. The children do like doing it. And I think they like the fact that they don't feel like they're under a timed test and pressurized. It's just a nice, simple assessment to see, oh, how do you need support? How are you going? And so it's done in a very relaxed, and I do say that to parents and caregivers that it's not a formal test. It's a way of just making sure that the child feels comfortable and we can assess how they're writing. Because there's nothing worse than you feel under pressure. And when you're under pressure, you don't perform how you normally perform.
And we're talking, I am human as a theme, and children are beautiful humans, so pure, so authentic. And what do you think? Because they're so authentic, so genuine. They ask, they have no filters. What do you think the human element in this generation, these times we're living in, that make them so special? What is the human element? Anyway, I can imagine there's variety of children, so they have their uniqueness and their unique beauty in their respect. But generally speaking, if there is a common denominator, what do you think is what is their profound, deep element as a human?
As a human, I really think it's the human interaction. I think the more that you interact with people, the more that you can learn, the more that you can share, and the more that you can grow. So with my AI app, it's not just being behind a computer. I want to encourage that interaction. So as I said, when they complete the task we actually encourage them to say, look, it's not a test. Have a conversation with the child, explain what needs to be done. You can do it with a group. It doesn't need to be done within a set time. All we really want is the outcomes. They need to be relaxed. Once we get the outcomes, that's uploaded to our AI app, and then you get instant results. The results then are personalized based on the outcomes, the task outcomes that have been uploaded, and also the questionnaire. And then we encourage them to, talk through the questionnaire with the child. If there's anything they don't understand, to come back and to speak to us. So it's all about encouraging human interaction to support that child. And AI is just a tool. So it's a bit like when I was working as a teacher, when the internet came in and, interactive whiteboards, and everybody thought that was going to replace teaching. It doesn't. It's a tool. You still need the core fundamentals of actually teaching and delivering. So same way you'd prepare a lesson, you'd use technology to enhance it. And that's what I'm trying to encourage with my AI apps. It's not a replacement of you teaching or instructing that child how to write. It's about you supporting them in their journey. And also, it's really important that children are, as I said, unique and different, and we understand the differences. And you don't understand the differences unless you actually interact with different people.
Yeah, because I also think in I am Italian, so I have a different cultural education from yours. And the only thing, it was one ways, 1.0, it was unidirectional kind of teaching. Nowadays, it's more like, having feedback from the children, making sure that everybody is got not unidirectional. But what I'm intrigued is for your experience, you said that children wants connection, which is great.
Mm.
But in your opinion, going slightly deeper into that, which kind of connection they are looking into? Friendship, understanding, help, care, love? Because I think this is really the time for children, because they are the future of the world, definitely making sure that they are nurtured with the important things. What do you really think that they are craving for? What is their need of connection? What they are looking for them to be nurtured and be stronger and run the world one day?
I think what children really need is they need good role models. So I also do CPD training for teachers, and there's some interesting research that's come out about the teenage brain. So about 20 years ago, it was thought that after a child got to puberty, about 11, 12, their brain just stopped developing and that was it. But what we've now realised is they go through something called a critical period, and The other time they go through a critical period is when the child's first born, from the age from 0 to 3, and you've got all of these neurons, and these neurons are trying to in your brain, trying to organise themselves, and they shed a lot of the grey matter. So some of the neurons they just shed because they don't use it. But what they've now discovered is you go through that process again during adolescence. So what we have found is that if you are nurtured, supported, have good role models, then what can happen is it doesn't matter what your starting point is. This second chance can actually build you as an individual, and you can become very successful. So it's really important that children are nurtured and supported, because that second stage, post adolescence, that's when their brain is actually trying to make sense of things. And they shed, I think it's 12%, don't quote me on this, of grey matter. So that's why you've got all these sort of hormonal changes and upheavals when you're dealing with teenagers. But it's so important that they have good role models, and they have people they can talk to and they can learn from.
And now with this, so which kind of the age group? Can you remind me the age group of these children?
Okay, so I have an early screening, which is for toddlers, which is just the very foundation. The other is for primary school and secondary school children for the handwriting. But my actual programs that I run, they vary, but they're just some are for teenagers, things like academic writing, and that's all based on research. But it's just getting children to be empowered and understand that research is not something that's locked away in a university. It's something that is practical and can be used to actually help you.
Okay, so and now we are talking about especially children. They are very savvy, tech savvy. So, how much of these children basically being very much connected with technology and maybe I won't say social media because they should be under above 16, but because of the fact that they have the tablets, they have the phones, and they play with them. So, how much can distract them being in their world from the real world, and how is the struggle for educators and parents to bring them into the real world where they have to connect with socially with children, other children playing in the playground or being in the pitch playing football or whatever. So I really would like to know what is the key issue there with technology and how to try to make them be connected with the real world.
I think we can't ignore technology, because if you ignore it, then you're going to miss the boat, really, because the world is driven by technology. But I do feel there is an overuse of technology. I don't agree with children, youngsters being given tablets and given a phone to look at cartoons and etc. I mean, I'm not saying that it should totally be banned, but there should be some interaction where the parent is talking to the child, reading books, reinforcing vocabulary, having that sort of human connection as well. Also, lots of research has shown that mobile phones are bad for your concentration. So if you have a mobile phone, it ignites parts of your brain that are waiting for, the pings from instant messages, and it just waiting for it. So the best thing to do, what I did with my son, is if you want to study or do anything, your mobile phone has to be in a separate room, because otherwise your brain is waiting for it to be activated by this phone. So it does have its issues. The other thing I'm concerned about is it's too easy when you go on to Google to search for something, and you use the capacity to think and write for yourself. And what we have found as well is when your brain's given too many options, it's really difficult for you to discriminate what you need and what you want. So it does loads of things. Also, in terms of reading things online, we found that it doesn't actually activate the same parts of your brain as if you were reading stuff which were printed. So the area of technology, there's a lot of research going on which shows that there are some benefits, but there's also lots of issues and lots of challenges that we need to be addressing. So me personally, I think that you need to get the balance right with the child, and you need to have a conversation with them about this is what it can do and this is what it may do to you if you use it in excess. Like with anything, if you use it in excess, it can be damaging. But I'm not someone who says no mobile phones, because then you're going to lose sight of technology. And it's really important that you embrace it, because if you don't embrace it, you're going to get left behind. But I think we really need to look at how it's used, and also make parents, children, educators aware of its benefits, and also some of the challenges you have when you use it. At the moment, it's quite draconian, where it's no mobile phones, or you can use it. So we really need to get the balance. And I think if the research was more readily available, we'd have a better understanding, and we can make more, I say, better informed decisions.
Wow, no, I totally like your perspective, because yes, you're right. We're living technology times, and if they are not keeping up, they are cut out. I mean, otherwise they start getting into the world, uh, business world or social world, they will feel cut out. But definitely needs to be a balance. And also, I think the relationship between parents and educators is so important, because
Yeah,
if you guys as educators are working hard to establish this kind of balance, and at home they basically there is nobody that is instead giving discipline in the respect, you're going to struggle as educator to achieve your goal for the child, because you pushing to have a balance between the two, and they instead having all the liberty, they feel they are home, and they feel, why my parents are allowing me to do so, why shouldn't so I think it's very hard for you if there is not this dialogue between the parents and yourself.
very
So
important.
if you have to pick up one word for 2024, which is your mantra, your intention for your business, as well as for you as an individual, what would that it be?
My mantra would just be is to embrace opportunities, new opportunities, because I think with AI, you have to embrace it. There's a lot of talk about bias in AI, and when I use AI sometimes to write some blogs, there is a lot of bias towards people of colour and gender, and it's because the sources they've used don't have a balanced view. So the more I write content, it then changes their data source. So we really have to be involved in actually embracing and trying to change, trying to make it more palatable as well. And I think that across the board. So a bit like you talked about with children, you have to embrace the technology, but you also have to give them some sort of guidance about how it can be used. It's a very powerful tool, but also it can be something that can cause problems as well. There are perils to using it. So I'm all about embracing technology, embracing opportunities, embracing people so you can learn, interact with people, embracing challenges. So it's all about embracing.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Yvette. It was lovely talking to you. And believe me, what you're doing is fantastic. Trying to
Thank you.
combine, huh?
And you as well is fantastic.
Yeah, no, what you're doing, embracing technology, and the beauty of these young humans, that they have so much to explore and to give to the world, and doing the right way in order for them to grow according to their potential. It's great work. So I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to add something. You are not.
No, I was just going to say and everybody has the potential to reach their academic goals, and that's what we should be telling children. We're all unique, we're all different, we learn differently, and just understanding that the context everybody can achieve.
Brilliant. Thank you very much again for what you're doing, and I hope I see you around soon. Take care.
Thank you,
Ciao, Yvette.
Mariana.
Cheers. Bye.